What is it like to be consistently trolled for your weight if you're a MP just trying to do your job? Well, let's speak to the Labour MP, Carolyn Harris. She's known for her flamboyant style. She shares pictures and videos of herself on social media. She's also a great campaigning MP. But behind the smiles and the work, she is subjected to online abuse because of her weight.
And after years of that trolling, Carolyn turned to weight loss jabs in a bid to change the way she looked. And she's since lost over 9 stone, 19 stone down to 10 stone, and says that despite starting the injections for the wrong reasons, she feels the best she's ever felt. And she now wants the Health Secretary to make those weight loss jabs more accessible. She joins us now. Has it put, as a Labour MP, has this amazing weight loss put an end to the trolling?
No, actually, Ed, I had an email at 2 o'clock this morning from someone who said that now you've discovered the jab for the weight loss, when are you going to find the jab for being ugly? So, yeah, no, it hasn't stopped the trolling, but I've learned to live with that. I just don't look at social media now.
Yeah. It's interesting because it was the trolling that sort of pushed you towards weight loss jabs, but also your health.
Yeah.
Tell us about, you went on a walk, didn't you?
Yeah. So
it made you think this is no longer sustainable.
So I've done a lot of campaigning on menopause, and every year with Menopause Mandate, we do a walk and talk for women to actually talk and walk a mile. I'd walked less than half a mile in my constituency, and I couldn't go any further. I had to stop. My back was bad, my legs were bad. And I thought, this has got to stop.
And you, at that point, you were 19 stone.
I was just over 19 stone.
And, of course, you can get the weight loss jobs now on the National Health Service. If you go through a series, you have to go through a weight loss
it takes like 12
assessment.
weeks.
But also, you have to be at a certain BMI. Without being overly personal about this, could you have qualified for the weight loss jabs on the National Health Service?
Probably not on the BMI. On the weight I would have, but not on the BMI. And that's the problem. The BMI is not reflective of what people's weight is. And if the BMI was changed and it was lowered, then more people would be able to access.
But it wasn't an option for you to get this on the National... So you chose to pay for the weight loss jabs with an NHS GP or with a private GP?
She's an NHS GP, but she has a private clinic doing menopause and doing weight loss. And I decided to take matters in my own hand and paid privately for it.
Right. It seems extraordinary that, you have been open about your size, which is a size 24. You're now down to a 10, 12 size. Your weight was 19 stone. You are now down to 10 stone.
Just under.
It seems extraordinary that someone in your position, when clearly that was affecting your health, if you can't even walk half a mile without feeling it like you're in pain, that the NHS wouldn't have prescribed you
I didn't even try, Susanna. I didn't even try.
So you might have been eligible.
I may have been, but I didn't even try because, I mean, I really think that it's a drug which is expensive. I could afford to pay for it.
Right, so you wanted to take yourself out of the NHS system so that others maybe could...
I didn't want to go through any 12-week programme because in that 12-week I probably would have piled even more weight on. Because it takes 12 weeks to actually qualify. You have to do... I wanted to do it there and then.
There are lots of Labour MPs who would have been very worried about choosing to go to a private GP and to pay for a drug, because does that mean that you are kind of undermining the National Health Service? Well,
I was already using private prescriptions for part of my menopause medication, which is not available for women on the NHS. So I was already on that path of actually paying, because there's not enough research into women's health. There's things you can't get.
Right. That sounds like another campaign.
It is, actually, Susanna. Anything to do with menopause.
Because you think the NHS is not taking the menopause seriously?
Well, not for testosterone. So testosterone is only available on the NHS for sexual health. It does so much more, but because we haven't done the research, because it's not licensed for women, we can't get it on the NHS unless it's for sexual health. So I pay privately.
Sounds like the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting's got to get things sorted out.
Well, he gets tortured from me on a regular basis. I'm constantly in his ear. But he does get it. He certainly understands the menopause problems, and he definitely supports my mission on Monjaro, because he says himself that he thinks that me talking about it publicly helps him to make a case to widen access.
So what is the issue here? Is it that more people should be eligible on the NHS through their GP, Do you want the BMI lowered,
Yeah.
the threshold lowered,
Yeah.
the weight threshold lowered as well, so that more people can get it easily?
So I either want the BMI lowered so that people who currently are maybe on waiting lists for hip operations or arthritis or conditions where their weight is really hampering their way of life, their BMI may not necessarily qualify.
Are you able to tell us what the BMI currently is and what it should be reduced
It's
to?
30, I think,
30.
isn't it?
And you want it reduced to
Less. I wouldn't. I'm not a physician, so I
Okay.
wouldn't want to say what level. But I think weight
it's
and
35.
health conditions, which are not currently eligible for Mounjaro, need to be taken into consideration,
and not just BMI.
and not just the BMI. Or find a way of working with the pharmaceutical companies to make it more accessible, affordable-wise.
And how much does it cost you a month?
Now, I paid £340 last week. Up until then, I was paying 160 for the same dosage. So, but I'm on reduction now, but it's gone up that much.
And what happens, because one of the issues that people complain about with weight loss jabs is that you have to stay on them in order to keep the weight off. Is that something that you're getting
No.
advice on?
Well, yeah, because I see a doctor face to face.
But you're paying for that as well.
But that's what I've got to do, and I'm prepared to do that because I've taken back control of my life, and my weight was controlling my life.
But you'll appreciate that people watching won't have the same resources.
And that's why I want to make sure that people can afford it, or they can get it easier from their GP.
We talked to Wes Streeting on Tuesday about lifestyle, about weight loss drugs. We had an ITV investigation which showed that you could alter your look, submit a larger photo of yourself to a pharmacy and then get the drug, and going around the rules, which he was very worried about. He said that he didn't think that these should become lifestyle drugs. It should be about health. And in your case, I mean, there'll be some people who will say, have you chosen a different look, a different lifestyle? Was this something which wasn't really necessary for your health? Because if it was, you'd have got it on the NHS.
Well, yeah, I get that, but, you know, I've tried dieting. I've done the keto diet, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done Slimming World, you name it, I've done it. I've gone up and down, up. I've never lost this much weight. I've never felt this healthy. I've never been more in control of my life. My health, I am now totally in control of it. That combined with all the stuff I'm doing on menopause for myself.
So why shouldn't your constituents have the same as their MP?
Well, they can't afford it. And that's what I want to make sure, that they can either afford it or they can access it on the NHS. This will save the NHS billions and billions and billions of pounds by stopping health conditions which currently are associated with obesity, a word I couldn't use before I lost weight.
That's extraordinary. It's such a huge change.
It is.
9 stone.
Mentally as well.
Yes. And down from a dress size 24 to a dress size 10.
I love it.
Well, good luck. And thank you for coming in
Thank you for
and
having me.
campaigning on our sofa. Interesting talking to you, Carolyn Harris. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you very much.